Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it is time to pause and reflect. Kindness is the language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. The best way to cheer yourself up is to try to cheer somebody else up. Age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. This is the ideal life. The fear of death follows from the fear of life. A man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time. Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness. The man who does not read has no advantage over the man who cannot read. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. Do the right thing. It will gratify some people and astonish the rest. The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. Truth is stranger than fiction, but it is because fiction is obliged to stick to possibilities. Truth isn't. I have never let my schooling interfere with my education. Forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet sheds on the heel that has crushed it. Wrinkles should merely indicate where smiles have been. A lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is putting on its shoes. Don't go around saying the world owes you a living. The world owes you nothing. It was here first. Clothes make the man. Naked people have little or no influence on society. You can't depend on your eyes when your imagination is out of focus. The human race has one really effective weapon, and that is laughter. Don't part with your illusions. When they are gone, you may still exist, but you have ceased to live. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence, and then success is sure. A man who carries a cat by the tail learns something he can learn in no other way. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. The lack of money is the root of all evil. The more I learn about people, the more I like my dog. Let us endeavor so to live that when we come to die, even the undertaker will be sorry. When we remember we are all mad, the mysteries disappear and life stands explained. Give every day the chance to become the most beautiful day of your life. The trouble is not in dying for a friend, but in finding a friend worth dying for. A clear conscience is the sure sign of a bad memory. Never allow someone to be your priority while allowing yourself to be their option. The worst loneliness is to not be comfortable with yourself. If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do, you're misinformed. You ought never to sass old people unless they sass you first. Education, the path from cocky ignorance to miserable uncertainty. Do something every day that you don't want to do. This is the golden rule for acquiring the habit of doing your duty without pain. It's better to keep your mouth shut and appear stupid than to open it and remove all doubt. To succeed in life, you need two things: ignorance and confidence. The secret of success is making your vocation your vacation. Get your facts first, then you can distort them as you please. There are no people who are quite so vulgar as the over-refined. A man's character may be learned from the adjectives which he habitually uses in conversation. It's good sportsmanship to not pick up lost golf balls while they are still rolling. Against the assault of laughter, nothing can stand. The right word may be effective, but no word was ever as effective as a rightly timed pause. There is a charm about the forbidden that makes it unspeakably desirable. Worrying is like paying a debt you don't owe. The finest clothing made is a person's own skin. But of course, society demands something more than this. When in doubt, tell the truth. Let us be thankful for the fools, but for them, the rest of us could not succeed. Honesty is the best policy when there is money in it. We are all alike on the inside. The more things are forbidden, the more popular they become. The right way to do something is to begin. Name the greatest of all inventors: accident. Virtue has never been as respectable as money. Never tell the truth to people who are not worthy of it. Each person is born to one possession which outvalues all his others, his last breath. Civilization is the limitless multiplication of unnecessary necessities. Never put off till tomorrow what you can do the day after tomorrow. There is a difference between a person who has something to say and a person who has to say something. Truth is the most valuable thing we have. Let us economize it. A full belly is little worth where the mind is starved. Noise proves nothing. Often a hen who has merely laid an egg cackles as if she laid an asteroid. Thunder is good, thunder is impressive, but it is lightning that does the work. It usually takes me more than 3 weeks to prepare a good impromptu speech. He who asks is a fool for 5 minutes, but he who does not ask remains a fool forever. The less there is to justify a traditional custom, the harder it is to get rid of it. Prosperity is the best protector of principle. Grief can take care of itself, but to get the full value of joy, you must have somebody to divide it with. The dog is a gentleman. I hope to go to his heaven, not man's. A clear conscience is the sure sign of a bad memory. It's easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled. Few things are harder to put up with than the annoyance of a good example. When your friends begin to flatter you on how young you look, it's a sure sign you're getting old. Action speaks louder than words, but not nearly as often. Of all the things I've lost, I miss my mind the most. Be careful about reading health books. You may die of a misprint. The lack of money is the root of all evil. There are lies, damned lies, and statistics. One of the most striking differences between a cat and a lie is that a cat has only 9 lives. Let us live so that when we come to die, even the undertaker will be sorry. There is nothing so annoying as to have 2 people talking when you're busy interrupting. Part of the secret of success in life is to eat what you like and let the food fight it out inside. Few sinners are saved after the first 20 minutes of a sermon. Nothing so needs reforming as other people's habits. All generalizations are false, including this one. Do not have an opinion while you are drunk. You might change your mind when you sober up. Great people are those who make others feel that they too can become great. When angry, count 4. When very angry, swear. Don't let schooling interfere with your education. Man is the only animal that blushes or needs to. To eat is human, to digest is divine. The average man is proof enough that a woman can take a joke. Some people get an education without going to college. The rest get it after they get out. There are people who can do all fine and heroic things, but one, keep from telling their happiness to the unhappy. A man cannot be comfortable without his own approval. The secret source of humor is not joy but sorrow. There is no humor in heaven. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence. Then success is sure. Buy land, they're not making it anymore. What would men be without women? Scarce, sir, mighty scarce. The best of all lost arts is honesty. The worst things in the world are the people who want to change everything or nothing. I was seldom able to see an opportunity until it had ceased to be one. We have the government that money can buy. Loyalty to petrified opinion never yet broke a chain or freed a human soul. When you fish for love, bait with your heart, not your brain. Don't let yesterday use up too much of today. Substitute damn every time you're inclined to write very. Your editor will delete it, and the writing will be just as it should be. Few things are harder to put up with than the annoyance of a good example. Good breeding consists of concealing how much we think of ourselves and how little we think of the other person. I can live for 2 months on a good compliment. A lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is putting on its shoes. Let us endeavor to live so that when we come to die, even the undertaker will be sorry. When you catch an adjective, kill it. There are people who can do all fine and heroic things, but one, keep from telling their happiness to the unhappy. To succeed in life, you need 2 things: ignorance and confidence. One learns people through the heart, not the eyes or the intellect. The best way to cheer yourself is to try to cheer someone else up. You can't reason with your heart. It has its own laws and thumps about things which the intellect scorns. Be respectful to your superiors, if you have any. It is wiser to find out than suppose. 128. A man is never more truthful than when he acknowledges himself a liar. We ought never to do wrong when people are looking. When you cannot get a compliment any other way, pay yourself one. Action speaks louder than words, but not nearly as often. All good things arrive unto them that wait and don't die in the meantime. Don't overeducate yourself. Do not try to learn too much. The more you explain it, the more I don't understand it. Nothing so needs reforming as other people's habits. A person with a new idea is a crank until the idea succeeds. Good breeding consists in concealing how much we think of ourselves and how little we think of the other person. In the first place, God made idiots. That was for practice. Then he made school boards. When you cannot get a compliment in any other way, pay yourself one. Let your secret sympathies and your compassion be always with the underdog in the fight. This is magnanimity. But bet on the other one. This is business. Laughter without a tinge of philosophy is but a sneeze of humor. Genuine humor is replete with wisdom. Humor is mankind's greatest blessing. All generalizations are dangerous, even this one. It is curious that physical courage should be so common in the world, and moral courage so rare. You may delay, but time will not. The only way to keep your health is to eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what you'd rather not. The man with a new idea is a crank until the idea succeeds. The only very marked difference between the average civilized man and the average savage is that one is gilded and the other is painted. There are no sadder sights than a young pessimist. We should be careful to get out of an experience only the wisdom that is in it, and stop there, lest we be like the cat that sits down on a hot stove lid. She will never sit down on a hot stove lid again, and that is well, but also she will never sit down on a cold one anymore. When in doubt, tell the truth. It will confound your enemies and astound your friends. A half-truth is the most cowardly of lies. If you have no will to change it, you have no right to criticize it. There is no sadder thing than a young pessimist, except an old optimist. It's not the parts of the Bible that I don't understand that bother me. It's the parts that I do understand.